I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of our lives, said President Trump in his inauguration speech. But the truth is, he doesn't have to. America was built on race and gender hierarchies embedded from the nation's conception, and the recent overturning of Roe v. Wade is a prime example. It's the continuation of a long history in which reproductive rights have been manipulated to consolidate power. As we're in a time where history is trying to be erased and rewritten with more conviction than that used to save lives, it's been really empowering for me to find the truth in the past that continues to shape our present. In 1808, when the transatlantic slave trade was abolished, enslaved Black reproduction became the primary means of maintaining the Southern economy. While Black women's reproduction was a tool for financial gain, white women's reproduction was weaponized politically. After slavery was abolished in 1865, Black lives, no longer holding economic value for white slaveholders, were deemed meaningless. Black women became targets of forced sterilization, their uteruses removed without consent, making them unable to have children. In the late 19th century, particularly post-Reconstruction, fears of race suicide grew among white politicians concerned about losing the white demographic majority. During this time, the sterilization of Black women persisted. One of the most egregious examples was the Mississippi appendectomy, a series of racist medical malpractices from the 1920s to the 1970s, where in Sunflower County, Mississippi, 3 out of 5 Black women had their uteruses removed without their knowledge or consent. As Black women were forcibly sterilized, white women used abortion for family planning. When white birth rates declined in the early 20th century, powerful white men became outraged at the autonomy white women were exercising. By the 1910s, abortion was banned in most states. It was then reinstated as a legal right 63 years later by the Supreme Court. However, as we know, America's horrid and life-threatening history of abortion legislation as a means of racial and gender oppression did not end there. Since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, Black women have been disproportionately affected by abortion bans. We are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than our white counterparts, and more likely to need life-saving abortions. This is why the dynamics between race and gender are highly relevant and important to recognize. We have to understand our history to determine how to dismantle the structures that have long dictated whose choices are protected and whose are suppressed. The title of a feminist must refer to someone who champions women's rights and understands the impact of intersectionality in women's experiences. As the future remains unknown, we as women must not only be allies to women of our own race, but to women of all races. Despite society's attempt to silo us, we must commit ourselves to standing together, because as history has shown us, whether parallel or divergent, our fates are tied. Thank you.